He was the GOAT during the apocalypse, humanity's last shot, but even he got clapped by the Grim Reaper. Next thing he knows, boom, dude wakes up in the past before everything went to hell. Now Sumu's got a second shot. He logs into the same game that's gonna turn real soon, but plot twist. No fresh start, no OP build, just his old broke mage account, 0 loot, and 1 creepy bonus, the Reaper's damn bony hand. But this time, he ain't playing around. He knows what's coming, and he's gonna grind his way to the top before the whole world goes down again. Ruins of the city, mountains of bodies. The apocalypse has arrived. The last defender clutches his staff. The city behind him is about to fall. There is horror in his eyes. The nightmare from the game has become reality. Fallen comrades all around, no one can escape this carnage. He stands firm, the only surviving warrior. Before him is death itself. The world has turned into a hell without hope. But the hero raises his flaming staff, not intending to give up. With a furious cry, he launches into a final attack, wanting to leave as a hero. He puts his life on the line to win back even a spark of hope. A powerful blow falls, but his spirit is not broken. He does not accept defeat. A sudden cry breaks the silence. He has not resigned himself to his fate. When he wakes up, he sees not a battlefield, but an ordinary classroom taking an exam. The teacher shouts in rage, demanding that order be maintained. The guy realizes in shock, I'm not dead? He understands. This is the past, the day the game Apocalypse began. The hand feels a familiar object in the pocket. Ring of the Apocalypse. Chance to enter the game before anyone else. The teacher continues to humiliate, not knowing who is in front of him. The hero interrupts his tirade with a grin. Hey. He throws an accusation at the teacher. I remember you. You abandoned the students in another world. The guy leaves saying, I have no time, I'm going to play Apocalypse. Classmates are delighted. Sumu challenged the principal for a game. In 2046, the world was taken over by the VR game Apocalypse, penetrating into all spheres. Game currency was exchanged for real money, weapons for luxury. Even entire nations conducted business through Apocalypse, exchanging resources. Some people instantly became rich, others lost everything. But the wave of the game could not be stopped. The hero walks down the street remembering, who would have thought what would happen next? And then that day, the apocalypse became reality. The horror from the game engulfed the world. In the face of disaster, humanity unites and engages in a desperate battle. Although the strength of people was insignificant before the gods and demons, they did not lose hope. The sun, moon, and stars went dark as the world went up in flames. He sighs. Whether it is a dream or reality, the chance for rebirth is given. He believes that the light of humanity will shine no matter what. I'm back! The guy enters his room. Note from parents, went on an expedition, left money. Clutching the note, he vows, Mom, Dad, this time I will save you. It's 11 in the morning, the ring of the apocalypse is already with him. The game hasn't started yet, an hour's head start will change the course of fate. He turns the ring on his finger hopefully. Please. The ring flashes a bright light. It should work. The hero's body is on the floor and his spirit soars with a cry, Ha, it worked! Before the stream of digital code, he confidently declares, I am Sumu. His second journey into the apocalypse begins right now. The wise old man welcomes him to the world of Apocalypse on the Azure Dragon server. In front of the game guide, Sumu exults, I did it! I entered the game before everyone else. The young warrior is offered to choose a profession from 5 available classes. He reaches for the warlock symbol, planning to become a universal healer. Sudden system error. Changing profession is impossible. Sumu is perplexed. The guide, with a slight grin, advises the warrior to first look at the attribute panel. Shock. Class. Mage. Level 4. His old data transferred with him. Sumu is furious. Leveling up a mage is a bottomless pit of expenses. He asks decisively, Where's my equipment and supplies? The inventory is empty. The guy is in despair from such a useless rebirth. In the empty inventory, only 1 bone hand is visible. Sumu looks at the item description in surprise. Reaper's bone hand. When you look into the abyss looks into you. What kind of thing is this? Little Sumu is indignant. No attributes! Where are the promised goodies for the reincarnated? The system announces Mu Shen is the first player to receive a unique title. He appears in the newbie village, receiving a mage gift set and the title Fastest. Sumu in comical rage. The fastest? They're making fun of me. The Fastest title gives some nice bonuses to speed and evasion. Sumu is delighted. With his new title, he boldly rushes at the boars. Long time no see, guys. Sumu launches his first fireball at a flock of monsters. Only 12 damage. The first level magic turned out to be ridiculously weak. The enraged boars chase after him. Sumu shouts, I would have killed you with one blow! As he runs away, he notices some commotion and someone scream ahead. A girl in torn clothes desperately calls for help. A huge boar king is chasing her. She screams, Hero, save me! A window pops up in front of Sumu. The first hidden quest is to save the girl. He grins. It wasn't for nothing that I fiddled with these little pigs. Luck is on my side. Sumu joyfully stretches his hands towards the girl. Come to me, baby. Suddenly he slaps her in the face, shouting, Here's a big surprise! Silhouettes. Sumu, a girl and a huge king boar in the background. The girl is perplexed. Warrior, why are you... Sumu explains her situation. She is shocked. Warrior, how do you know that I was picking mushrooms? Suma lists her childhood pranks and past misdeeds with a grin. He points to her legs covered in glowing red patterns. Look at you. The girl smiles ominously, her body also covered in patterns. You know, too much. Her profile enchanted Xiaohua appears. She laughs evilly. Chibi Sumu proudly declares, This is all the blood and tears of the experience of past warriors. Xiaohua, with claws and patterns on his body, hisses, Prepare to die, human! Sumu pushes the king boar towards Xiaohua. Little boar brother, you first! The king boar rushes towards the girl. She screams in horror, Get lost! The king boar's eyes flash like lightning and he puffs furiously. A powerful blow from the boar, surrounded by electricity, falls on Xiaohua. The girl is thrown back by the blast wave, blood splatters. Xiaohua, getting up, shouts to the fleeing Sumu, Now it's your turn. Sumu stops abruptly and points at her. Wait a minute, you're exposed. He casts a fireball and a skill description appears with a chance of Hell's Descent. A fireball hits Xiaohua in the back, dealing 36 damage. Xiaohua was furious. Despicable person, how dare you deceive me? You are dead. Sumu deftly dodges and Xiaohua takes another 30 damage from the explosion. He runs away, luring her under new explosions and shouts, Catch me! Ha ha! Sumu reveals her secret. Xiaohua's power comes from the magical pollution of the jungle. The hero stands confidently, knowing that she will not be able to leave the forest for long. Sumu provokes her with a smirk. Come and fight me. Xiaohua hisses, I'll tear you apart. Sumu sarcastically replies, Oh, how scary. Her clawed hand reaches for Sumu's face, but he only smiles calmly. Xiaohua suddenly freezes, unable to move, and shouts in bewilderment, Why? Sumu declares, Now I won't hold back, and unleashes hellfire descent on her. A rain of fire falls on Xiaohua, and she looks at Suma in horror. A defeated Xiaohua lies on the ground. The system announces a reward for her murder. Sumu gets a bunch of rewards, experience, and a new level, laughing at his luck. The hero leans over Xiaohua, anticipating what loot she will drop. Suddenly, Sumu notices that the bone hand in his inventory has also gained a level. He studies the description of the Reaper's hand. It is now level 1, but still inactive. The characteristics of the item Reaper's hand are still mysterious. Quality unknown, attribute inactive. The bone hand glows with an ominous aura, and Sumu is intrigued by its potential. Chibi Sumu is shocked. Rare and numerous materials are needed to activate the hand. Sumu decides to focus on leveling up for now, putting off resource gathering for later. The freed Xiaohua thanks Suma, handing him the staff and hairpin. Chibi Sumu grins slyly. He was waiting for her demonic aura for the sake of quests. Sumu is delighted. The staff turned out to be purple equipment. Xiaohua asks to take her to the village. Sumu gets a new quest. The hero carries the girl on his back, enjoying the familiar apocalypse. They leave the green forest, heading to Qingyu village. In the village of Qingyu, they are met with surprised glances from the locals. Xiaohua happily shouts, Grandpa, I'm back! The village headman, a gray-haired old man, greets his granddaughter with relief. Grandpa hugs Xiaohua, and Sumu receives a well-deserved reward for the quest. The elder thanks Suma, but he interrupts him, demanding a quest. Chibi Sumu grumbles that the old man will talk him into a trap if he doesn't hurry up. The village chief asks for help from Xiaohua, who needs zombie blood for purification. Sumu accepts the quest. Kill 30 zombies, bring blood, reward, gold, experience, staff. The elder advises some to find an alchemist to prepare for the hunt. Sumu approaches the alchemist's shop, looking forward to the meeting with interest. In the shop, he is met by a seductive alchemist calling him brother. Sumu asks for 28 mana potions, complaining about the high cost of playing as a mage. The alchemist flirts, offering a discount if Sumu makes her older sister happy. Sumu shyly refuses, saying that everything is fine. The alchemist leaves, complaining about the boring boy, and Sumu mutters about thick-headed people. Suddenly, the blacksmith appears, menacingly asking who Sumu was talking about. Sumu buys a scroll of identification from a blacksmith, receiving in return a wish for 100 years of happiness. The hero finds a quiet corner, considering the identification of purple gear more exciting than a real game. He foresees the appearance of traders of unidentified equipment and uses the scroll on his staff. Sumu waits nervously, having staked everything on the luck of the bachelor blacksmith. Identification is successful. The Staff of Heavenly Fire gives plus 140 attack, crit chance, and spirit return. Sumu is delighted. In a great mood, Sumu decides to equip a new weapon and quickly level up on zombies. Sumu arrives at the zombie area and immediately rains fire down on them. The hero is pleased with the frequent activation of the skill, wondering if this is a blessing from the god of death. Sumu anticipates chaos. Soon the server will open and hundreds of players will fight for one zombie. The clock strikes 12 as players around the world activate their gaming rings. Newbies flood the village, complaining about the realism and chatty NPCs, while Sumu just smirks. There's panic in the world chat. Players can't find zombies, quest zones are empty or burned down. Sumu sorts through the mountains of loot. He cleared out all the monsters while the others were waiting to respawn. Chibi Sumu calculates the profit and decides to hide his level so as not to attract attention. The hero sets up a trading stall with a sign saying, "Fair deals, enticing customers." Players passing by laugh at Sumu, calling him a wooden head for trading instead of grinding. Sumu just chuckles, knowing that these braggarts won't be able to defeat the zombies even on the team. Suddenly, someone in elegant shoes approaches his shop, attracting the hero's attention. Sumu is amazed. In front of him are slender legs and elegant shoes. The beautiful stranger attracts everyone's admiration, especially her legs. Sumu looks intently at the girl. Is it really her? It turns out that this beauty is the future top mage and commander of Tingshui. Chibi Sumu is surprised to meet the goddess and is already making insidious plans. The girl approaches Sumu's shop with interest, intrigued by its sign. She is amazed. Where did a newbie get so much equipment and zombie blood right after the start? Sumu names the price for all the goods, slightly inflating it for a wholesale purchase. The girl is outraged by the markup, but Sumu cunningly suggests a way to get a discount. Sumu, with a lustful grin, offers a 20% discount if she lets him touch her feet. The girl angrily shouts, "Shameless man, stop it!" pushing his hand away. Sumu shrugs. If you're not interested, forget it. There won't be another chance. Tingshu ponders. He clearly wants to use me, even though the guild is not poor. The girl decisively declares, "I offer 100,000, I'll take it all." Suddenly some goons appear, and Chibi Sumu recognizes the Mad God of War. Memory. The Mad God of War is a top warrior, impudent and domineering. He selected bosses. In his past life, he killed Suma more than once, but now the hero is not afraid of him. The God of War intervenes in the deal. Whoever pays the most, takes it. Tingshu raises the bid to 150,000, but the God of War immediately offers 200. Sumu understands. They are ready to spend a fortune to prepare for the first kill of the boss. Tingshu understands that this equipment is the key to her guild's dominance. Sumu rejoices. "You agreed! The deal will be mine! I win!" The hero brushes off the God of War. "I'll sell it to her and you can get out." The God of War is furious. His minions threaten to kill some outside the city. The God of War's bruiser grits his teeth. "Outside the city, you'll regret it bitterly." Sumu is unperturbed, muttering under his breath. Practice makes perfect. The deal is done. Chibi Sumu teases Tingshui, who vows not to trade with him again. Sumu grins smugly after her. "Naive, you don't know my methods yet." Tingshu leaves, blushing and thinking, even though he is a lecher, but just now. Sumu explains to Tingshui, 120,000 with a 20% discount, I never lose out. Suma reminds with a grin. Beauty, haven't forgotten about the promise for a discount? Tingshu blushes and Sumu presses, are you really going back on your words? The hero just chuckles, clearly enjoying her embarrassment and awkwardness. Suddenly, Sumu retreats. Okay, let's forget it. Consider that I'm at a loss. I helped you because of the feud with the God of War. Tingsu watches him go, thinking about his insolence and the future problems with the Crab Guild. Sumu hands over the quest to the elder, receiving a reward and a new task, to get bandages for the wounded. The hero takes on a quest for mummy bandages, investing the points he receives into a magical attack. Chibi Sumu boasts that he has already far surpassed the noobs in experience and gold. Sumu feels like a cheater when he goes in search of enchanted mummies. Suddenly the hero stops in horror. Wait, I forgot something important! It dawns on Chibi Sumu. He almost forgot about the profitable deal with the headman. The village chief asks to give the hairpin to Xiaohua, hinting at a hidden reward for his help. Sumu receives a powerful headman's blessing. This is the true reward for the quest. The other players look on enviously, but Sumu is already rushing to clear the first dungeon. The hero enters the demonic swamp, where health melts away and potions are useless. Luckily, the elder's blessing covers the damage from the cursed zone. Sumu peers into the misty distance, anticipating a meeting with the mummies. Suddenly, two players run out of the forest, pursued by creepy creatures. The girl in the couple is wrapped in mummy bandages and desperately calls for help. Her companion cowardly abandons her, saving his own skin from the monsters. Sumu blocks the path of a coward who is trying to escape. The fugitive is pierced by the mummy's attack, blood spurting from the wound. Enchanted Mummy Level 5 attacks with bandages, its stats are visible. Sumu analyzes. These Level 5 monsters are beginner killers. The hero prepares his staff, noting that the mummy's slowness is their weakness. Sumu launches a fireball challenging the vile creatures. A powerful fireball explosion engulfs a group of mummies. A crowd of mummies rushes after Suma, who sees this as a chance to collect materials. Sumu hatches a cunning plan to lure the mummies into the forest of dead trees. The hero successfully lures his pursuers into the swamp, exclaiming, "They've taken the bait!" Suma teases the mummy from the edge of the cliff. "What? Are you afraid to come closer?" Enraged mummies with glowing eyes growl in response to provocation. Dozens of bandages rush towards Sum, surrounding him from all sides. The hero deftly dodges, slipping between the flying bandages. Sumu grins. "The mummies will cause trouble, but I'm experienced." He grabs a bunch of bandages. "This is just what I've been waiting for." Using the bandages, Sumu jumps over the attacking mummy. The hero flies elegantly across the swamp, holding onto the bandages like vines. The mummies find themselves in a quagmire, tied up in their own bandages, and Sumu is already on the other side. Sumu prepares a fireball, a big spell, and everything will burn to the ground. Unexpected announcement, a bounty on the heads of players who tease the alchemist. Chibi Sumu grins smugly. This special hunt is just right for him. Sumu, with his staff at the ready, is confident that dealing with 100 noobs after the mummies is as easy as pie. A rain of fire falls upon the trapped mummies, incinerating everything around them. The system congratulates Mu Shen. The enchanted mummy has been killed, experience, gold, and a skill book have been obtained. Sumu studies the book Shattered Stars. It doesn't suit him, but he can sell it for a lot of money. The hero notices the soul of an unlucky player caught in his fiery shower. There is panic in the world chat. Players complain about dying from fireballs and ask for potions. Sumu sees the god of war with his squad, boasting about his indispensability to the newcomers. The god of war leads his people into the mummy zone with a battle cry, thirsting for glory. Players admire the god of war. With such charisma, he will definitely create a powerful guild. The god of war sneers, "Bunch of losers, watch us get through these quests." Noticing the mummy, the god of war shouts, "Target detected, everyone follow me." Suddenly, a fireball explodes in front of the god of war's squad, hitting the mummy as well. The god of war is shocked. A fireball? Did a puny mage really go that far? His squad looks around in panic. "Be careful, there's a flowing fire here." A rain of fire falls on the god of war's group, forcing them to flee. Players take fire damage, shouting "Help" will cause damage numbers to pop up above them. The flames consume more and more players. They scream, "Ah! Murder! Murder!" The system reports, "Killed Mad God of War, Bounty Target, Progress 8100, and more." Sumu thinks, "I wanted to farm, but they themselves are going to their deaths, madmen." The hero remembers the new level 5 skill Frost Flower Dance, a great AoE with freezing. Sumu decides to unpack the backpack. More than 100 units of equipment and 12 skill books promise a good income. He's going to write to Van. "Found some cool stuff. Immediately thought of nice girls, my spring is coming." Sumu stretches. "It's a pity. There are still many missing for the 100-head quest. Let more come. He came across a skill book, Wind Shadow, blue quality, great for a mage. Mushin learns Wind Shadow, gaining plus 130% speed, perfect for chasing or escaping. With shining eyes, Sumu makes plans. I'll reach level 6 and then the first boss. A look at the marshy area, showing an ice blast or effect in the distance. A new group of players, Fisheye, Pale Ghost, and others, fight against mummies. Fisheye announces that she has collected the items and is leaving the group. Her comrades persuade her to stay, praising her treatment and teamwork. The men continue to flatter, asking for a smile, but Fisheye despises their superficiality. She thinks that all men are disgusting, except him, remembering someone's silhouette. She is offered to become the deputy head of the guild in order to keep her on the team. Fisheye cuts them off abruptly. Shut up! And prepares an icy attack. Her icy blast not only hits the mummy, but also the pesky Death Song. Death Song is shocked. How did she notice me? And why does her skill hurt an ally? Fisheye understands. Attacking this guy takes away her health. This is the same pharmacist. She decides not to waste time. She needs to quickly level up and find him. Fisheye ponders, so many servers? Will Sumu end up in the same zone? Pale Ghost tries to calm Death Song as he rants about the departed Fisheye. Death Song grows dark as she listens to the sycophants, but admits that Fisheye is not so simple. In the world chat, the mad god of war furiously challenges Mushin to a fight, spending gold on a megaphone. The god of war is seething with anger. He was just farming monsters, why kill players? Suddenly, a graceful female figure appears behind the enraged god of war. It's Tingsue Wan and her friends. She interrupts the shouts. It's no use making noise. The god of war was at a loss. Tingsue Wan, are you defending this Mushin? Tingsue Wan firmly clutched the book. Mushin has sent the equipment. Deal with us first. The god of war shouts in anger into the chat. Coward Mushin, are you hiding behind women? In the chat, the god of war calls Mushin again, who answers boldly, who's looking for grandpa here? Mushin makes a dramatic appearance before the god of war, calling him grandson. The god of war is furious. Enough chatter. Once you have appeared, prepare to die. Mushin grinned, showing off his attributes, a 4th-level mage with decent equipment. The players around are shocked. A 7th-level mage? Purple weapon, concentration, magic explosion. The god of war and his minions were stunned. This Mushin is like from another dimension. Mushin smirked. Madman's grandson, your grandpa is here, what next? The god of war hesitates but decides, Mushin, no, I can't retreat. His comrades shout, Mushin, you mercilessly killed innocents, we will take revenge. The god of war grins maliciously. So what if he has a high level? There are many of us, the advantage is ours. Mushin retorts, you were the one who pestered the alchemists and now you blame me? The girls believe Mushin and the god of war blushes. He disgraced me in front of the ladies. The god of war charges forward with his hammer. Mushin is ready. I'm just in the mood for a fight. Tingxi Wan offers to help, but Mushin politely declines, saving the favor. Mushin firmly asks the girls to move away. I need to... The hero activates the group battle mode. They think they can take us by numbers? Strength decides. Tingxi Wan watches from the side. Let's see how strong he really is. Mushin's staff shines, the system announces, group attack mode activated. Mushin soars into the air, releasing fireballs. The god of war shouts, shields! The warriors repel the attack with their shields. The god of war commands, mages, archers, fire! The god of war's mages and archers unleash a barrage of attacks on Mushin. Mushin easily dodges, smirking. Is this all that madmen can do? They've used up all their skills. The enemies are panicking. Where did he go? He's too fast! The chat discusses Mushin's title, the fastest. Mushin prepares a new skill. Time to try out the ice control on these madmen. The icy whirlwind of Frost Flower Dance rushes towards the enemies frozen in terror. The god of war and his men are frozen in ice, screaming in pain and cold. Damn, I'm freezing! The warriors scream, shields on cooldown, healers, heal! But the ice flower blooms, finishing them off. The god of war is furious at his surviving comrade. Why did you raise your shield? Everyone is dead. Mushin chuckled. The shield was wasted again, fools. I'll finish you off with a fireball now. A fire flashed in Mu Shen's eyes as he began to count down. 3, 2, 1. Mu Shen announces, "Guys, get ready for a surprise." And the firestorm is ready to fall. The face of the last enemy is distorted with horror at the inevitable fiery punishment. A rain of fire falls upon the remnants of the squad, their shields already used up. The god of war desperately drinks the potion, muttering, "Boss, I can't take it anymore. Take care of yourself." Mu Shen chases after the god of war, who screams in panic, "Don't come near or I—" The god of war is furious. "Impossible! How did he defeat my elite squad? I will fight to the end." The god of war uses wind-slashing slash. Mu Shen analyzes it coldly. Mu Shen easily dodges the attack by creating illusions. You just need to keep your distance. Mu Shen suddenly attacks from behind. Too slow. The fiery strike hits its target. The god of war furiously shouts, "I'll kill you!" But Mu Shen parries the blow, mocking, "What, god of war, aren't you retreating?" The god of war was astonished. "Damn this Mu Shen, how can a mage be so agile?" Mu Shen stops him. "Wait!" And the god of war boasts, "My skills have recovered, fool." Mu Shen suggests, "Check your health," and the god of war is horrified to see the almost empty gauge. Mu Shen's final fireball finishes off the god of war, reducing his HP to 0. Mu Shen smiled. "Oh, sorry, I accidentally added damage. I wanted to play longer." The spirit of the god of war flies out of the body, shouting, "Mu Shen, this is not the end. You will still pay." The crowd rejoices. The girls admire. Mu Shen is my idol, so strong and handsome. Ting Sui Wan was deep in thought. Mu Shen, is he really that powerful? The Azure Dragon server is buzzing with announcements. Mu Shen has completed the quest and made 100 kills. Players on the West Tibet server are also shocked. Who is this Mu Shen? 100 kill streak, unbelievable. On the South Jiangnan server, a player is furious. Damn, Mu Shen is first again. Team Z captain from another server is surprised. We were 20 kills short of 100. He admits, Mu Shen beat me, a pro player. Team Z isn't the strongest. On the Azure Dragon server, the sorceress with 90 kills is also shocked. Someone got there first. She whispers thoughtfully, Mu Shen, Sumu, is it really him? Mu Shen suddenly felt a chill. Who is thinking about me? He turns to Ting Sui Wan. We agreed on a second exchange, remember? Ting Sui Wan sighed as he left. His strange conditions again. Mu Shen shows her the list of trophies, bandages, equipment, skill books. He announces the price, playfully offering a discount, while Ting Sui Wan turns away in embarrassment. Ting Sui Wan blushed. I don't need such a discount. 115,000 is 115,000. Mu Shen teases, it's a pity. I was preparing a surprise. If you touch my leg again, it would be free. Mu Shen offers a rare skill book for 10,000 gold as a friend. He sets a condition with a grin. In the future, let me touch your leg 10 times. Mu Shen considers the deal to be done. By the way, here's some friendly advice for you to boot. The hero shares a secret. The tree in the green forest gives a lot of experience. It is connected with a hidden quest. Ting Sui Wan is intrigued. A hidden quest? I'll help, but it won't be free. Mu Shen confidently extended his hand. It's a deal, Miss Wan. You definitely can't go wrong. The girl considers the offer. It seems that establishing a good relationship with him is a necessity. Ting Sui Wan shook his hand, smiling. Mu Shen, you intrigue me more and more. Mu Shen lounges in his new game capsule, muttering, how comfortable. He remembers that in his past life he saved up for a long time for such luxury. Mu Shen looks at the ring with determination, ready to conquer the gaming world once again. Returning to the game, he sees the panicking newbies before the mission Wrath of the Tree God. Mu Shen tries to calm them down. It's just a hidden mission, don't panic. Meanwhile, his stream is being watched, with plans to activate similar quests in other villages. Players from another kingdom doubt that anyone would dare to challenge this task. The timer reaches 0. The Tree God's revenge begins. Players run away in horror, the realism of the game goes off the charts, some quit the game. Mu Shen is puzzled. The mission involves NPCs, something he doesn't remember from the past. The village chief addresses the young warriors. Mu Shen listens. The headman, with a book in his hand, calls, For the village, for tomorrow, into battle. All players receive a powerful boost. Attack, crit, defense, and health are increased. Suddenly there is a rumble, the players are alarmed. Look how many trees there are! Huge living trees with glowing eyes are advancing towards the brave man with a hammer. The blue-haired warrior rushes forward. Get out of here! Leave this to me! The players meet the attacking Ents with fire and sword, and the battle rages on. An archer and a swordsman furiously attack one of the giant tree monsters. The tree monster grabs the players with its branches. One of them is in despair. I shouldn't have started playing. The battlefield is in chaos. Ents are throwing players around, flashes of magic and the ringing of steel are everywhere. The rookie village is under attack by an army of living trees. Players are in a panic. The shield of invulnerability is melting. Mu Shen is accused of lying. The tree monsters are terrifying, and players are ready to give up and leave the game. A crowd on another server watches in shock as the insane attack is broadcast. Viewers of the broadcast discuss how the village of newcomers 526 was wiped off the face of the earth. The big shots are monitoring the stream, acknowledging the difficulty and ordering everything to be recorded. A man in dark glasses is closely studying what is happening on the screen. Suddenly, a rain of fire falls on the trees, causing massive damage. The flaming meteors continue to fall, incinerating the enraged Ents. It's Mu Shen. His skill Firestorm shocks the observer with its incredible power. Suddenly, an ice storm freezes the enraged Ents in place. Frozen trees shatter into thousands of ice shards. The players cheer, "It's Mu Shen! He saved us, just like last time!" Mu Shen remarks from the shadows, "I actually wanted to give you some experience." The hero calmly drinks the potion, restoring his strength. Mu Shen, holding his staff at the ready, asks, "Am I showing off too much?" He rushes back into the fray, his staff ablaze with fire. The branches of the Ents hit Mu Shen, dealing only 1 point of damage. For him, it's like a massage. The players are delighted. Mu Shen's equipment is incredible. He is a god among men. Mu Shen turns to the others. "Hey, what are you standing there for? Let's go together." The inspired players rush to attack. Mu Shen is magnificent. Forward, brothers! Crowds of viewers are delighted with the stream, many rushing to play as Mu Shen. Tingshu Wan and her friends arrive at the cleared spawn point, guessing who the culprit is. The girls discuss tactics. One of them envies Mu Shen's damage. Let's follow him. Tingshu Wan is determined to lead his team forward to make up for lost experience. Another player with a spear calls on everyone to prepare and strengthen themselves for the battle with the Ents. Warrior and support mage apply Spiritual Shield, which absorbs 30% of damage. Mu Shen was surprised to hear Tingshu Wan's voice. "We are also joining the battle." Tingshu Wan, with her staff, confidently suggests that the warlocks coordinate their actions with her. She commands the mages and archers, "Listen to my command, keep your distance, attack!" Tingshu Wan commands, "Weak ones, cooperate. Warriors, forward, assassins, finish off." Spectators on another server are shocked. "Look, Rookie Village 818 is fighting back." The crowd is discussing Mu Shen. He cleared the spawn point. Can they really do it? The leader of the Madmen clan calls to his people, "The trees are retreating. Quickly get into the game, otherwise the deaths are in vain." He grins. For the tree, 100 experience, for help, 20. The perfect time to cash in. At the Wing Nation Research Institute, they observe, "The revenge of the tree god. You thought it would be more difficult." The Wing Nation commander orders, "Johnson, analyze the data of Village 818. Our people are also going to kill trees." Johnson doubts. "Commander, the mission is difficult. Our average level is 3. Mu Shen is incredibly strong." The commander angrily, "We can't handle it. We're the best. The Wing Nation will surpass the ancient nation." He threatens, "Activate the tree god's revenge immediately or I will replace the deputy." Johnson complies. The players of Village 818 rejoice. "We won! Mu Shen's teams made the battle easier. The experience has returned." A sudden sound alarms the players. Mu Shen is calm. It's here. Giant, writhing roots emerge from the ground, heralding a new threat. The enchanted tree god, a 10th level lord, appears with the desire to devour humans. A tree monster with a burning eye and sharp claws lets out a furious roar. The tree god unleashes his power, scattering players who panic and call for help. A huge wooden palm with a red glow rushes towards Tingshu Wan. Tingshu Wan closes her eyes in horror, realizing that she won't be able to dodge the blow. A powerful blow from the wooden arms causes an explosion, destroying part of the village. Mu Shen rushes into the epicenter with a spear, managing to grab Tingshu Wan at the last moment. Mu Shen saves Tingshu Wan, she thanks him, and he reflects on her attractiveness to monsters. Players desperately attack the tree god, but their arrows do little damage. Horror grips players. The boss has 30,000 HP, control, regeneration, and deadly attacks. The tree god roars and evil little tree servants appear around him again. The players are panicking. The trees have returned. Mu Shen, what should we do? Ting Sui Wan is also waiting for his plan. Mu Shen confidently declares, "Don't panic, deal with the small stuff like before, I'll take care of the main thing." Ting Sui Wan resolutely replies, "Okay, be careful, I will take this battlefield upon myself." Ting Sui Wan stands at the head. "Calm down, unite by profession. Warlocks, come to me." Ting Sui Wan commands, "Ranged combat, fire, warlocks, fan out, heal, warriors, suppress." Mu Shen looks at Ting Sui Wan, impressed by her leadership, worthy of the future support of the safe zone. The tree god, enveloped in purple energy, prepares for another attack. Mu Shen is confused as to why the boss's fire vines are specifically aimed at him. The fastest man Mu Shen dodges, knowing the weakness of the former forest protector. Mu Shen strikes straight at the heart, dealing 555 damage while the others only deal tens. The hero soars into the air, realizing that the damage to the boss's tormented soul cannot be healed. Mu Shen unleashes a barrage of fire, calculating his strength for a protracted battle. Deciding to distract the boss, Mu Shen shouts at Wan, "The rest is on you!" Ting Sui Wan immediately commands the warlocks to head to the resurrection point for support. Ting Sui Wan looks after Mu Shen with anxiety and determination. The tree god, enraged, releases even more sharp branches, becoming more dangerous. The sharp branches of the tree god grow rapidly, trying to pierce everything in their path. Mu Shen easily dodges the attacks using the Elder's Blessing and his incredible speed. The hero unleashes a firestorm on the monster. "Burn everyone!" Mu Shen, floating in the air, points his staff, preparing for another devastating attack. A rain of fire hits the tree god, dealing massive damage with multiple hits. Suddenly, ice spikes emerge from the ground, restricting the movement of the scorched boss. Mu Shen smiles and offers the monster to enjoy the taste of ice and fire. Ting Sui Wan sees that the boss has a third of his health left. Just a couple more minutes and Mu Shen will win. The players are inspired. "Let's hold on. The reward is near. Kill and resurrect the fallen." The tree god is completely frozen, the perfect moment for the ice-binding rhyme dance. Mu Shen swings his fire staff, preparing to deliver the finishing blow. A powerful explosion of flame falls upon the tree god, who curses the people. The tree god crumbles to pieces, realizing his mistake in the face of defeat. Players watch as the remaining evil minion trees also disappear. System announcement: Mu Shen is the first in the world to kill the event boss and get the chest. Village 818 players rejoice after receiving 10,000 gold and 100,000 experience. Ting Sui Wan admires Mu Shen. The broadcast viewers are delighted with the victory and the generous rewards, especially 10,000 gold each. On the forum, players from other servers express envy and fear over the strength of Village 818. Mu Shen obtains the wood god essence needed to activate the death god's hand bone. System announcement: Mu Shen reaches level 9, raising his staff in victory. Mu Shen decides to activate the death god's hand bone, anticipating its mysteries. The system announces blood, bandages, and the essence of the tree god are required for activation. The death god's hand bone begins to slowly activate, energy swirling around it. Mu Shen is bound by purple energy, unable to move. The activation continues. Ting Sui Wan and the other players feel a powerful gust of wind, suspecting the quest is continuing. Ting Sui Wan notices a new debuff, Death Gaze, which paralyzes all players. Players are in a panic. They can't move. Someone is screaming about a bug and wants to leave. The sky darkens, whirlwinds envelop the immobilized players. Ting Sui Wan is astonished. Players cannot see anything and their health begins to rapidly decline. Ting Sui Wan is in despair. Neither skills nor potions work, and death does not lead to rebirth. Ting Sui Wan suggests that after death, health will not be reset, but there will simply be a black screen while the developers fix the situation. She is worried. Mu Shen hasn't returned. Did he activate something again and is now in danger? Meanwhile, Mu Shen was in the forest under the Death Gaze debuff. The bone activation had reached 15%. Two huge, ominous red eyes suddenly appear in the sky above the forest. Mu Shen looks up at those terrifying eyes. The bone activation is already at 20%. One of the giant glowing red eyes ominously approaches. Artifact activation, 25%. Mu Shen realized in horror, This is the death god. The hero is shocked. The god of death was supposed to appear in his temple before the apocalypse, but the temple has not yet been passed. Mushin wonders if he hastened the arrival of the death god by activating the bone, since he knows little about him. Mushin hears a familiar voice with horror, the same one that sounded before his death in his past life. Activation at 35%. From the crimson energy clouds, a terrifying hooded figure with blazing eyes appeared in front of Mushin. The god of death with a huge scythe loomed over the hero, who was in despair. Is it really death again? Mushin tries to break free from the shackles while the bone activation reached 65%, but in vain. The face of the god of death approaches. The light fades, the darkness descends. The god of death rules. The death god turns to Mushin. Young mage, do you want to live? I offer you a chance. He offers Mushin to become the great death mage, promising incredible power and the title of Apocalypse Champion. Activation 80%. Mushin is shocked. Why did the death god choose me? What did he see in me? The hero makes fun of his chosenness, while the system offers the first option, to join the god of death, betraying humanity. The second option is even worse. Refusal means death, loss of all equipment, and reset to 0 level. Mushin is in a panic. Losing everything, including the hard-earned evil dragon armor, is unthinkable. The death god demands an answer. Mushin stalls for time. Bone activation is 90%. The hero grits his teeth. It is impossible to betray humanity. We must wait for 100% activation. The Lord of Death impatiently repeats, Speak, what is your choice? The activation is already 95%. Mushin turns to the monster. Okay, I'll tell you. This rebirth is full of trials. Determination flashes in the hero's eyes. He is ready to voice his choice. Mushin shouts defiantly, I refuse, while clutching his staff tightly. The death god is furious. What? Stupid ant. You dare to reject me for the sake of a ridiculous light? Mushin sneered. Even an ant has ambition. How can I bow down to my sworn enemy? Then, go to hell, ant. The death god swings his scythe, but Mushin doesn't give up. The blade of the scythe rushes towards the hero, who thinks, in 3 seconds I will become a hero again. Suddenly, a blinding beam of light strikes from the sky. A beam of light collides with the death god's scythe, shattering into pieces. Mushin looks at the unexpected rescue in amazement. The god of death is furious. A projection of a god crossing worlds to kill. Do they really think my temple is empty? Michael! The evil face of the god of death grins. Heh heh heh! Michael, do you think you can save him? A shining silhouette with wings appeared in front of Mushin. Could it be... Michael himself, Supreme Commander of the Legion of Temple Angels, appears. Michael, surrounded by flames, clenches his fist. Go back to hell! The angel directs a powerful stream of golden energy straight into the crimson skies. The god of death disperses but threatens. He is cursed and destined to join our temple. Michael, await my true coming. Mushin is shocked. The Supreme Commander's power has dispelled the death god's shadow with one blow. The temple is the stronghold of the god's faction, and the Legion of Angels is their renowned fighting force. The hero is confused. By activating the bone, he summoned not only the god of death, but also Michael himself. Mikhail praises Mushin for making the right choice, and the hero realizes that he can move again. Mushin greets Michael awkwardly as the death god's handbone's activation reaches 100%. Michael invites Mushin to pass his test and receive the title of Temple Mage. Mushin is shocked. The title Temple Mage is the basis for hidden quests even at level 100. The hero accepts the test, and Michael gives him a trophy obtained from the demons. Mushin looks curiously at the shining necklace he received from the angel. This is a damaged evil dragon necklace of unknown quality that requires purification. Michael, spreading his wings, blesses Mushin for a more powerful path. Mushin looks up to the sky where Michael disappears, saying, The light of the apocalypse shines upon you. The hero clutches the damaged necklace of the evil dragon in his hand, recalling the legendary armor set. Mushin is delighted. He knows that in his past life, only one player owned this invincible set. He dreams that by refining the necklace to legendary quality, he will become invincible, and the other pieces of the set will be drawn to him. Mushin decides to first study the death god's handbone that almost nullified him. A description of the death god's handbone appears in front of him. Quality unknown, level 9. Attribute, death's hand. Mushin is shocked. The skill Hand of Death doubles the damage of all skills and stacks with crits, and it can also be upgraded. The hero almost cries with happiness. His rebirth was not in vain. The apocalypse did not deceive him. But joy gives way to horror. To upgrade the Hand of Death to level 2, you need 5 million experience. Mu Shen decides to open the Forest God's treasures to reach level 10 faster. There are 3 rewards in front of him: the chest for the first solo kill, the Forest God's legacy, and his treasure. Suddenly, the spirit of the Forest God emerges from the radiance thanks to Mu Shen. The spirit asks for one last favor: to pass the temple without taking damage and defeat the Godslayer Apophis. Mu Shen accepts this dangerous mission without hesitation. The hero understands that this task coincides with Michael's test, mentioning Apophis. The camera zooms out into space, showing the Earth spinning peacefully. However, a mysterious planet is approaching Earth, posing a threat. Calculations show that a collision with this planet will release colossal energy. But the first threat after the apocalypse will be the mighty Apophis. Mu Shen decides, first the final boss of the weakened instance, then Apophis. Surprise announcement: level 15 team clears Ancient Temple first. The hero decides to open the chests of the Forest God, starting with the treasure of the Forest God. Opening the chests gives him gold, potential points, boots, a skill book, and temple prestige. Mu Shen is delighted. A universal skill book and temple prestige. What luck! The hero immediately studies the book, gaining the skill Spiritual Activation. Spiritual Activation creates a duplicate with 50% strength. Mu Shen is shocked by the power. He understands that the temple's prestige increases the chance of rare items and hidden quests. The chest for the first solo kill on the server grants the title Demon Slayer and other treasures. The Demon Slayer title gives a huge bonus against demons. Perfect for the apocalypse. Mu Shen decides to put all his points into magic attack, creating a fierce mage. The hero plans to complete the quest for the necklace and return to the city to have the equipment assessed. In the newbie village, players discuss bugs and the fear of getting stuck in the game forever. Mu Shen's sudden appearance at the spawn point shocks other players. The crowd enthusiastically greets Mu Shen, begging him to take them into the guild and even offering themselves. Mu Shen calls on everyone to swing to be the first from Village 818 to reach the main city. Meanwhile, in the real world, in the Kingdom of Wings, rage is raging. The first boss kill has gone to another server. The Wing Kingdom general is furious. The task has proven impossible, and other countries are also failing. Mu Shen goes to the alchemist, ordering 100 purification potions and 1 sacred potion and calculating the costs. The alchemist thanks Mu Shen for helping the village and punishing the players by handing him the potions. Mu Shen drips the potion onto the necklace, dreaming of the legendary quality he had never seen in his past life. The purification is successful. The necklace shines with gold, and the hero is amazed at his good fortune after being reborn. The hero takes out the perfect identification card to finally learn the properties of the artifact. The necklace floats in the air, emitting a bright glow as Mu Shen waits for the explosive characteristics. Identification complete. Damaged dragon chain of legendary quality with incredible bonuses. Mu Shen's stats are impressive. Level 9 title and equipment buffs make him a formidable mage. The hero decides to first reach level 10 by defeating several bosses before going to the temple. Suddenly, a giant pillar of light falls from the sky, foreshadowing something grand. Mu Shen looks up tensely. He's here, the god of destruction, Apophis. Another player in the forest feels heat and sees a trail of fire. Something huge has fallen from the sky. A powerful explosion shakes the earth, heralding the arrival of Apophis. Flames engulf the forest, and players flee in panic from the wave of fire. Mu Shen understands. This is just a simulation. The real power of the Star of Destruction would destroy everyone. Players in the newbie village shout, "Fire! Run! The village is in danger!" Suddenly, someone stamps their foot decisively, preparing to fight back. The village chief enters the fray, unleashing a powerful water blast on the flames. A giant wave of water collides with the fire, raising columns of steam. The players are shocked. The elder is a hidden master who possesses both magic and combat skills. The water inexorably pushes back the flames, saving the village from complete destruction. The delighted players shout, "Headman, you are incredible! Give us the hidden quest!" The village elder chuckled thoughtfully as he considered the situation. The headman announces, "Apophis has invaded, warriors. Protect the world. Don't let him leave the forest." System message, Apophis in the underground temple. Ancient Forest Temple is open to all. Mushin reads, Apophis searches for ancient artifacts in the ruins of the Forest Temple. The hero remembers. In a past life, Apophis was looking for materials for the Legion of the Star of Destruction. Mushin ponders. The secrets in the game are real, but revealing them could bring disaster. He decides, as a reincarnated person, he must become stronger because the strength of people is insignificant. Mushin knows that clearing the temple does not require money, but rather an understanding of mechanics and strength. The hero decides to leave the game and rest, letting others have fun for now. Mushin returns to the real world. The camera shows the morning city. Mushin wakes up, deciding to check how noobs cope with dungeons. On the forum, players complain, the temple is a labyrinth of horrors with living corpses. The hero grins. This is just the beginning. The future horrors will scare them to death. Mushin notes that his kingdom is in the lead in the temple, but the boss has not been defeated yet. It's time to return to the game. Mushin activates the game capsule. A level 9 hero appears in the game, ready for new achievements. Tingshu Wan, also level 9, is surprised by his low level and offers him equipment. Wan thanks him for the resources and invites Mushin to the temple, promising insider tactics. Mushin smiles slyly. Team Z's strategy is already at the top and the boss has legs? Tingshu Wan confidently replies, don't worry. Mushin flirts with Tingshui Wan, saying that he is only interested in her as long as she offers a share of the spoils. The hero notes her confidence and strong support, realizing that she is revealing important information for the sake of recruitment. Mushin acknowledges the value of the information about the dungeon, but coldly states that he is not interested. Tingshu Wan was stunned by his refusal, not understanding the reason. Mushin advises her to level up first, because even at level 10 they won't be able to defeat the dungeon. The hero goes off to farm monsters, leaving Vanya perplexed. How could he reject her command and information? An hour later, the world chat explodes with players complaining that Mushin is clearing out all the monster locations. Mushin announces his next targets in the chat, causing other players to quickly change their plans. The system congratulates Mushin on reaching level 10, unlocking the buff and guilds. Having reached his destination, Mushin heads to the village headman's house. Mushin firmly declares to the chief, I want to create a guild. The elder is impressed. Warrior, you have exceeded expectations. Such a hero should found a guild. Here are 300,000 gold. The system window offers to create a guild for 300,000. Mushin considers it robbery, but the headman insists on investment. The hero decides to no longer depend on anyone by creating his own power and pressing the create button. Mushin names the guild God's Ascension Valley, foreseeing its future power in protecting the kingdom. The server announces Mushin has created the first guild, God's Ascension Valley. Tingshui Wan is surprised by his speed. Another influential female player reads the announcement of Mushin's new guild with surprise. The rival guild is furious. Boss, this kid beat us to it. But their leader is confident in his strength. Mushin's phone is ringing off the hook with 999 plus guild applications. He's about to delete them. Mushin studies the stats of his level 1 guild and decides to use the system blessing. Mushin activates the guild's blessing, gaining plus 5% evasion and other bonuses. The hero approaches the blacksmith for identification scrolls, saving the best ones for rare equipment. Recognizing the belt and boots, Mushin winces at the boots' useless effect on escape. Despite this, the stats are good, and he announces in the world chat about purchasing the helmet from the set. Personal messages are filled with requests and flooding. Mushin complains about noobs. A sudden strange message with a piquant proposal shocks the hero with its impudence. Suddenly, player Code 13 writes that he has the required helmet, surprising Mushin. Mushin offers a price, but Code 13 states that the helmet is not for sale and he will wear it himself. Enraged by such impudence, Mushin tries to point out that the helmet is for mages, but Code 13 is adamant. Code 13 offers to give the helmet in exchange for joining the guild. Mushin only smirks. The system announces Code 13 has joined the guild Valley of the Ascension of the Gods. Mushin grins slyly. A real man is flexible, but only the best from the leaderboard are accepted into the guild. The hero thinks maliciously, let him get equipment and a blessing, because the prestige of the number 1 guild is important. Code 13 greets the boss vigorously, while Mushin covers his face in embarrassment, thinking of kicking him out. Code 13 is surprised by the small number of members in the guild, while Mushin is cunningly planning to leave him with nothing. Code 13 decides to replenish the guild's coffers by donating million after million of gold. The guild's treasury soars to 10 million. Mushen is shocked. This guy has gone crazy. Code 13 offers another 10 million, and Mushen decides standards are made to be broken. Mushen receives the purple helmet, admiring its magical and life-saving properties. Having collected the set, the hero is ready for the temple, while Code 13 begs in the chat to take him with him for 10 million. System: Code 13 is tortured by the guild leader for an hour. Code 13 complains about low level and is looking for a party to level up. Tingsui Wan receives an invitation to the dungeon from Mushen for 200,000 gold. Mushen teases Wan, asking her to join in. Van explains the difficulty of the dungeon and the berserk boss. Mushen confidently promises to pass the dungeon. Wan doubts. Mushen offers a deal: return the money or the loot. Mushen jokes so as not to anger Wan and disappears. Half a day later, Wan, Mushen, and the upgraded Code 13 meet. Code 13 admires Wan and asks Mushen to introduce them. Mushen asks Code 13 to publicize their expedition. Wan sees this as a chance to learn more. Code 13 announces with a megaphone, Mushen leads to the boss, 200k for a place, be the first. The world chat is full of Code 13 announcements. Players doubt the success of Mushen at level 10. Wan offers to buy both places for his friends. Mushen agrees, because the money is the same. The team is joined by the warrior Tingsui Shasha and the magician Tingsui Xiaotu, full of doubts and curiosity. Code 13 brags about the boss's strength to the girls. Shasha finds the assassin funny. Code 13 asks Mushen for permission to show off a little, and Mushen cautiously asks what he has in mind. Code 13 floods the world chat with thousands of messages, praising Mushen and their guild, God's Ascension Valley. The group is shocked. Code 13 spent 1 million gold on ads. Mushen dreams of such money. A crowd had gathered at the entrance to the dungeon, skeptical about the chances of Mushen's motley crew. Mushen calmly leads the team into the dungeon, ignoring the doubts of the crowd below. The system announces the entrance to the Temple of the Ancient God, warning of ancient evil and mutations. Mushen gestures for silence as he looks around the majestic yet ominous temple hall. Code 13 warns. The first level is a labyrinth, and without the right path they face eternal imprisonment. Shasha defiantly suggests that Mushen lead them straight to the boss since he is so confident of success. Mushen brazenly asks Shasha to either follow him or go her own way, earning her anger. With a sly smile, Mushen adds, if she leaves herself, the money will not be returned, which shocks Shashu. Code 13 tries to calm the girls down, but Shasha explodes, pointing out his low level and equipment. Mushen commands, stay close, and confidently leads the squad into the depths of the stone labyrinth. Suddenly, the atmosphere changes. The walls are covered in red slime and the shadows of monsters frighten the group. Van warns, there are bloody demons behind the waterfall, fast and elusive. Even Team Z couldn't handle them. Mushen calmly leads the party through the creepy corridor, assuring them that the demons will not attack if they are left alone. The sinister blood demons really don't attack, and Wan is amazed at Mushen's awareness. The team reaches the next stage, a new labyrinth with 3 stone arches. Code 13 brags to the girls, listen to the boss and everything will be fine, while Mushen chooses a path. The squad enters a room littered with bones and weapons, Code 13 nervously wondering if they will come back to life. Close-up of the bony hand twitching, coming together with a horrible grinding sound. The skeletons are rising, Shasha yells at Code 13. You jinxed it, and the girls prepare for battle. Before them appears a level 7 skeleton warrior, thirsty for fresh blood after a long imprisonment. The skeleton with glowing eyes lets out a battle cry, raising his sword to strike. The skeletons rush to attack, but Mushen only grunts, ready to fight. Mushen unleashes Wind Slash on the skeleton, dealing significant damage. The skeleton in the helmet is shocked at first, but then his eyes light up with rage. Shasha puts up a shield. Wan commands Xiaotu to provide fire support. Xiaotu launches a fireball, frying a crowd of skeletons and dealing damage. Shasha fights off the advancing bone warriors from all sides with his sword. The skeleton attacks furiously. Shasha screams, barely dodging the blow. Xiaotu uses Ice Dance while Wan heals Shashu. The ice spikes pierce the skeletons, but Xiaotu complains about their high defense. Shasha shouts at Mushen in despair, You promised to clear the level, liar! Mushen reassures Shashu, promising to deal with the skeletons with a powerful explosion. Without wasting any time, Mushen prepares the Ice Dance spell against the bone warriors. Ice shards fly out, piercing skeletons and damaging them. Mu Shen then unleashes a barrage of fire on his enemies, incinerating the remaining undead. The girls in Code 13 are shocked by Mu Shen's strength, and Wan begins to believe in his success. Mu Shen explains the skeleton's weakness to magic and asks them to collect the dropped loot. The system announces that all the spoils go to Mu Shen. Wan is outraged by this injustice. Mu Shen pretends to be poor, and Wan sarcastically praises his bravery in battle. Code 13 urges the girls on by praising Mu Shen. Xiao Tu notes his sycophancy. The team reaches the fiery chasm, and Van recognizes the path Team Z took. Wan shouts at Mu Shen in a rage, "Are you going to jump? Do you want to die?" Mu Shen asks Wan for a shield, promising to return in 5 minutes alone. Mu Shen boldly jumps into the fiery abyss using his shield to glide. Fire snakes emerge from the lava, attacking Mu Shen and dealing damage. Mu Shen casts Ice Dance, creating ice platforms and freezing enemies. The team watches in amazement. Code 13 is proud of the boss, and Van is amazed by his knowledge of the area. Mu Shen points his staff at a specific spot in the lava, confidently stating, "Right here." A huge ice crystal grows from the lava, containing a blazing fire inside. Mu Shen returns to the team exactly 5 minutes later. Wan immediately asks about the loot. Mu Shen shows a golden chicken figurine. Wan and Xiao Tu are shocked. There was no mention of such an item. The system announces, the icy wasteland weakens the group and hides the ancient guardian. The ground cracks and ice shards fly up as the team watches with alarm at the approaching threat. A huge, sharp ice spike appears from under the ice, heralding the appearance of a monster. A level 10 ice centipede appears with terrifying faces on its segments and impressive stats. The monster lets out a deafening roar, while Mu Shen calmly prepares to fight the monster. The centipede attacks with a mental wave. Shasha, Xiao Tu, and Wan clutch their heads in pain. Mu Shen orders them to spread out and charges forward, his staff ablaze with fire. Mu Shen unleashes a powerful fire attack, taking away over 3,000 health from the centipede. The monster's main head, resembling an ice mask, is preparing to breathe out an icy storm. The centipede's icy breath covers the party, dealing damage. Mu Shen dodges with Wind Shadow. Mu Shen deftly dodges the ice wave, shouting that he will draw the monster towards himself. The boss commands, "The centipede is immune to water, warriors hit the belly." Van asks confusedly about his role while the others attack and Code 13 heals. The ice centipede gathers energy for a powerful electrical discharge. The monster releases a ring attack. Mu Shen understands that the hit will be critical. Mu Shen recalls the quest. Not a single scratch. His staff is once again burning with determination. Code 13 successfully attacks the belly, stunning the monster. Van also rushes into battle. Mu Shen warns, "Stun is wearing off, prepare to counterattack." Shasha furiously slashes at the monster with his sword, dealing damage amid fiery explosions. Code 13 runs away from the ice attack in panic, screaming, "I haven't touched you yet, you bastard." The centipede creates an ice vortex. Van warns everyone about the danger. Mu Shen shouts for everyone to move away. The monster is targeting him. The heroes quickly dodge multiple ice tornadoes. The centipede shoots ice spikes. Code 13 admires the boss's speed. The monster with glowing eyes has only 750 health left. Wan shouts in panic, "Mu Shen, the centipede is about to go berserk!" The monster goes berserk, and tiny centipedes emerge from under the ice. An angry centipede with human faces on its segments prepares to attack. The monster curls up into a ball, becoming immune to damage and preparing an ultimate storm. Team Z is terrified. The centipede is invulnerable and is preparing an attack across the entire map. The centipede contracts into a ball, storing up icy energy for a devastating blow. Van screams in despair. The monster releases an all-consuming ice storm. Mu Shen calmly throws the golden chicken figurine forward, commanding, "Forward!" Wan and Xiao Tu look at the glowing chicken in confusion, not understanding its purpose. The chicken explodes into a blinding golden light, causing everyone to squint. A giant golden rooster emerges from the light, ready to meet the monster's attack. The golden rooster spreads its wings, completely blocking the centipede's ice storm. Team Z is shocked by this turn of events. Code 13 shouts in admiration, "The chicken is really cool." The centipede's rage subsides. It is stunned, and Mu Shen declares, "The time has come." Mu Shen deals a devastating fire strike to the weakened centipede, removing 1,200 health. Mu Shen stands victorious against the backdrop of a fiery whirlwind. The system congratulates him on the defeated centipede. In front of Mu Shen is a scattering of loot, a chest, gold, and a purple frost glass skirt. Van claims that this is a warlock's item and offers 50,000 gold for it. Unexpectedly, Code 13 outbids him with 100,000. Mushin is surprised. Van wonders why Code 13 needs warlock gear, but he responds with a compliment on her appearance. Code 13 admits that he wants to give the skirt to a familiar sorceress. Mushin announces an auction. The auction for the skirt begins with a starting price of 100,000. Van and Code 13 are bargaining furiously. The stakes are rising. Code 13 offers 190,000. Van immediately responds with 200,000. Code 13 asks Mushin if he will get the money. The boss confirms. The loot is his, the money too. Code 13 teases Van and makes a staggering bid of 500,000 gold for the skirt. Juan is shocked by the 500,000 bet. Code 13 smirks. Mushin thanks for the generosity. Mushin rushes everyone to the next boss. Code 13 teases Juan, calling her names. Van boasts about beating a boss for the first time. Code 13 taunts her about her weakness, causing a skirmish. Mushin walks up to the massive door, lit by torches, and touches it with his palm. The door creaks open and Mushin stands resolutely in the illuminated doorway. Beyond the door lies a snowy forest. Mushin announces that this is the boss area. The team stands in front of the stone pillars. Mushin warns about the boss's special mechanic. Mushin orders everyone to take a column and wait for the signal. He himself activates the mechanism. Mushin heads alone towards the misty settlement among the ruins. He approaches a small house with a glowing symbol, the former home of the temple's builders. Mushin learns that the builders touched something evil and were cursed. 48 souls were sealed in the house. After years of these 48 souls merging into one, Mushin senses an ominous aura. Code 13 nervously asks about the strange sounds. Van immediately teases him about whether he is scared. Code 13 denies it, saying he just wanted to chat. Van calls him a coward. Van continues to scare Code 13 by telling him about a haunted room right behind him. Shasha confirms that she heard voices. Xiao Tu too, Juan warns. The system reported the fusion of souls. Mushin enters a dark, abandoned room, purple energy swirling around. He looks around the dark room carefully, his staff emitting a faint glow. The camera focuses on Mushin's feet as he strides determinedly across the creaky floor. Mushin turns around sharply at the sound, his gaze tense. Danger is near. Mushin explains that the monsters here are intelligent and unpredictable. His gaze is tense. The task of passing without taking damage requires extreme caution. Suddenly, an ugly monster with a huge mouth jumps out of the shadows. The system introduces the Cursed Worker, a level 9 mutant with the ability to merge. Mushin attacks with lightning speed, barely dodging the counterattack. The defeated monster dissolves into a purple haze at the hero's feet. But the danger is not over. 2 more monsters appear in the reflection. Mushin prepares the ice dance. The sound of bare feet approaching from all sides creates tension. Monsters are crawling out of the walls and passages. Mushin is puzzled. What's going on? He realizes in horror. Aren't they supposed to appear one at a time? Mushin unleashes Ice Dance, freezing nearby monsters with ice spikes. The horde of creatures is not thinning out, Mushin understands. If you leave the house, the monsters will be reborn. Surrounded by enemies, he is afraid of failing the quest, but remembers the ace up his sleeve. Mushin activates Energy Surge, creating a mirror image of himself. The hero and his shining clone prepare to attack together, staffs at the ready. The double fire blast hits the monsters. Mushin notes that the clone needs 2 hits. Mirror Mushin holds back the onslaught, albeit with half damage. The mana bars of both of them are rapidly emptying. Mushin feels that his strength is running out. A new wave of ugly creatures is approaching, and Mushin is already thinking about completing the mission. Mushin turns to his puzzled counterpart with an apologetic smile. Bro, I'm sorry. Mushin kicks his stunned doppelganger straight into the monsters. While the doppelganger is being torn apart, the real Mushin calmly drinks the mana potion. Mushin grinned slyly as he announced the transition to the second phase and froze the giant mass. The system shows unknown target, a multitude of merging monsters advising to flee. From behind the door, creepy shadows with claws and splashes of blood are visible. Monsters are breaking through. Mushin understands that the fusion process is irreversible and cannot be interrupted, otherwise everything will start over again. He leaves the house thinking that this dungeon is a real test for beginners. Code 13 is alarmed by the boss's appearance. Van immediately asks if it is possible to escape. Juan complains to Mushin, but he scolds her for being weak and too talkative. Suddenly, A powerful, fiery explosion shakes the area with columns, catching the team by surprise. From the smoke and fire emerge terrifying clawed paws, the harbinger of a terrible boss. The system introduces the mutated fusion entity, an elite monster with frightening characteristics. The team is horrified by the sight of the boss. Van notes his ability to regenerate. The monster ball of bodies rolls forward, sweeping away everything in its path. Mushen watches. Mushen counters the attack with a fiery strike from his staff, dealing damage to the monster. The hero continues to fire, noting the boss's high resistance to critical hits. The monster's huge paw rises above Mushen, his comrades shouting at him about the danger. Mushen parries the attack with a powerful fire blast, dealing significant damage. The hero notices that the monster's blood is corroding the ground, another hidden threat. Mushen decides to lure the boss to the pillars to neutralize his regeneration. Mushen dodges the monster's giant paw, preparing to strike back. The hero attacks with fire. The system warns. The boss's blood is poisonous and cannot be cured. Code 13 climbs the column. Mushen prepares Ice Dance. Wan, Storm Strike. Code 13 screams "Wow" in horror as clawed shadows reach out to him from behind. Mushen and Wan attack. Icy energy envelops the battlefield, saving Code 13. The team thanks Mushen, whose Ice Dance stopped the threat in time. Mushen calmly replies, "Please," his staff glowing with icy might. The boss is partially frozen but still dangerous. Code 13 looks at Mushen in shock. Mushen's Ice Dance envelops the columns in ice, freezing everything around them. The team looked at Mushen in shock, not understanding his next move. Mushen dodges the boss's claws, ice shards swirling around. The team screams in panic at Mushen, seeing the threat of the boss looming over him. The hero turns into a blur, demonstrating incredible dodging speed. Mushen shouts "Now!" and delivers a crushing blow straight towards the giant monster. He rushes towards the boss, ordering his team, "Action!" Mushen activates a light array, ordering his allies to stand still inside. A huge dome of runes and purple energy covers the monster. Rays of light strike from above. Dozens of hands reach out from the monster ball, trying to break through the magical barrier. Powerful bolts of purple energy rain down on the boss, tearing it apart. The crew is delighted by the special effects, wondering if the monster has finally been defeated. Van points at the boss, warning him of his power-up. Mushen explains, "The purple seal is blocking the boss's resurrection. Time to attack." The team rushes into the attack, ready to bring down all their might. Van delivers a powerful kick to the mass of monsters. A rain of fire falls on the boss, dealing colossal damage. The tree monster made of bodies is blown to pieces by a hail of attacks. The team rejoices. Code 13 admires Mushen, but Wan notices something is wrong. Emaciated figures emerge from the remains of the boss, leaving the team in shock. One of the figures thanks the warriors for saving him, admitting his sins. The freed souls thank the team and offer them their treasures. The souls disappear, leaving behind 2 chests from which treasures pour out. Mushen and Code 13 are pleased. Not a bad catch, even 2 purple items. Mushen opens one of the chests with slight surprise, anticipating the reward. The system congratulates Mushen on receiving the frosted glass belt and boots. Vanya and the other girl from the team are amazed. "It can't be..." Code 13 is delighted. "Boss, you're lucky. A complete set." Mushen decides to hold an auction. Code 13 immediately places bets, 500,000 gold each for the belt and boots. The mage girl refuses the items. Code 13 is surprised. She thinks the price is too high. Code 13 grins, ready to raise the stakes. Van reproaches him for being extravagant. Mushen thinks, the only sorceress in the team and she didn't get any items. Strange. Mushen announces, "Forward to the next level. The team is ready for new challenges." The heroes carefully climb the dark, winding stairs, sensing danger. Ancient murals of skeletons astound the team, with Mushen linking them to the plague of monsters. The system announces, "Inner hall of the temple of the ancient forest god, passage only through trials." System warnings, "Don't look at the faceless snake queen, but deaths are endless here." Mushen puts Code 13 and the mage girl in their place, reminding them of the monster's monstrous strength. The hero declares that at this level it is everyone for himself. The team is perplexed. Mushen explains, "Endless rebirths mean endless deaths. The team is terrified." System message predicts the taste of endless death. Dust snakes appear. Mushen orders AoE skills. Code 13 panics. He doesn't have them. The team unleashes a barrage of attacks on the dust snakes, with Mushen at the center of the battle. Snakes instantly regenerate, The green aura restores their health. Mushen frowns. They can't be killed without crits, their regeneration is too strong. A firestorm descends upon the snakes, burning them one by one. Coda 13 attacks the snake's tail, screaming in pain and rage, "I will fight you!" A powerful blow from the tail sends Code 13 flying, writhing in pain. The mage girl saves Code 13, who thanks her while running away from the monster. The team continues the fight, one of the snakes is defeated, but the danger has not passed. Suddenly, a giant sand vortex rises, sucking in everything around it. From the whirlwind emerges a huge, faceless queen of snakes, the boss of the 3rd level. Mushen shouts, "Don't look!" The Snake Queen's eyes glow dangerously. The team is in a panic. The system announces, "Emerald poison takes away health, blocks healing and actions." Code 13 screams in pain, struck by a beam right in the eyes and falls down dead. The warrior girl and the mage writhe as the poison mercilessly sucks out their life force. Code 13 is instantly revived, only to die again from the deadly poison. The entire crew floats helplessly, caught in the queen's energy, complaining of unbearable pain. Mushen commands to close his eyes and retreat. Code 13 and the mage obey with relief. The hero asks with a grin about his impressions of the fun apocalypse. Code 13 admits that he is a noob. Mushen warns seriously, "The boss is preparing to transform, be on guard." The giant snake queen looms over the squad. Mushen orders, "Open your eyes and fight." The faceless queen of snakes appears in all her glory, her stats terrifying the crew. Mushen shouts at Code 13 to attack from afar, but he panics. He has no ranged attacks. The team rushes into battle. The warrior girl deftly dodges the blow of the tail. The mage girl successfully hits the queen, causing damage to her. The queen of snakes spews streams of poisonous saliva in a rage. Mushen, with a flaming sword, warns, "Beware of snake venom." Mushen commands Sasha to cover the healer and the assassins, retreating 30 meters. Sasha erects a huge shining shield protecting the squad. The team dodges the poisonous projectiles, but some are still hit. Code 13 is pinned against the wall. Poisonous needles are flying straight at him. He is in despair. Mushen activates psionics, increasing the mage girl's magical attack by 100 times. A fiery explosion hits the Serpent Queen, dealing significant damage. Mushen commands the mage to freeze the enemy and increase his attack to reduce the boss's health. The team rushes to attack. The warrior girl jumps on the queen. Ice shards fly in all directions. The Snake Queen takes a series of hits, her health bar noticeably decreasing. The Snake Queen's eyes begin to glow ominously and merge together, preparing for another attack. Mushen is terrified. The queen is preparing to use the myriad snake curse. A stream of green energy snakes erupts from the queen, rushing towards the team. The heroes are attacked by countless snakes, causing them to feel disgust and panic. Mushen ponders. This skill was rare before. Now they can't be defeated without powerful fire support. Mushen announces to Code 13, "You will have to sacrifice yourself." With a powerful kick, Mushen launches Code 13 as a human core. Code 13 flies straight into the mouth of the giant snake queen. The team is shocked. "What kind of tactics are you, boss? You're terrible." The queen grabs Coda. Mushen shouts, "Strike at the vulnerability, quickly." The squad unleashes a flurry of attacks while the queen is distracted. The timer is ticking, only 3 seconds. Code 13 explodes with blue energy right into the snake queen's mouth. Mushen commands, "Forget the small stuff. I'll fire at the boss while my acceleration is in cooldown." The hero dodges the snakes, thinking, if they bite, the mission is a failure. Countless snakes surround Mushen. He has nowhere to run. Mushen, surrounded by snakes, decides to take a risk by preparing a fireball. The fireball hits the snake. Mushen notices, the boss has little health left. One of the snakes lunges at Mushen, his eyes reflecting a green glow. The team screams, "Mushen!" in panic. The female mage casts Ice Dance. Ice magic freezes the attacking snake right in front of Mushen's face. The Serpent Queen takes a critical hit to the head, losing 2419 health. Mushen stands with his back to the defeated queen, the energy snakes around him disappearing. The team stands on the snowy ground. Mushen breathes out in relief. I guessed it. 2 bright, shining explosions illuminate the battlefield, signifying victory. The system announces the receipt of crimson refined stones, which yield valuable crystals. Mushen laughs, admitting that luck was on his side, and the team breathes a sigh of relief. Mushin thanks Code 13 for his reliability. He smiles modestly, and they decide to check the rewards. Code 13 is interested in the Crimson Stones. Mushin explains their value in upgrading equipment. A sudden crash interrupts them, and the team looks up in surprise. A huge stone door begins to slowly open, attracting the attention of the heroes. The ancient doors leaves open, emitting a mysterious blue glow. A powerful gust of wind bursts out of the open passage, meeting the team. The system announces the opening of the temple gates and the final test, worship of the statue. Mushin's expression darkens as he remembers that the terrifying Star Destroyer Apophis is hiding behind this door. Code 13 asks in surprise if Mushin is tired after 3 levels, and if there is a 4th one waiting for them. Code 13 panics. Level 4? Impossible. Mushin suggests that the team take a rest and recuperate. Mushin asks the female mage to massage his shoulders. The team is outraged by Mushin's request. Code 13 reflects on Mushin's strange behavior. Code 13 chases after a warrior girl, calling her a witch. The team is transported to the next level through a blue portal. The team discovers that the statue they worshipped has disappeared. A huge ice statue appears in the sky. Mushin is scared. Code 13 makes fun of him. A giant black-clawed paw emerges from the icy ground. The paw comes down with a roar, splitting ice and rocks. A huge black dragon with red patterns soars into the stormy sky. A mighty dragon soars, surrounded by lightning and blue energy. The system represents the Earth Black Dragon demigod, the pet of the temple master who is near death. The dragon asks if they are the master's followers, and the team eagerly confirms. The dragon's bloody tears demand revenge for the master and the protection of the artifacts. The dragon unleashes streams of blue energy on the heroes, performing a baptism. The team receives a powerful boost, but Mushin puts a stop to the excessive enthusiasm. Mushin explains, the temple and the dragon fell at the hands of the Star Destroyer Apophis. The system announces the statue is destroyed, the dragon will fall, the fate of the continent depends on the temple artifacts. Stop Apophis. Mushin is determined. There can be no mistakes for a covert mission. He only relies on himself, while Code 13 screams, kill. Suddenly, a giant shining sword covered in ancient runes appears. The sword rushes straight towards the head of the bleeding black dragon. A powerful blow pierces the dragon, releasing a colossal surge of energy. The team watches from beneath the protective dome as the shining sword rises above the fallen dragon. The severed head of the dragon falls to the ground with a crash, spraying blood. An ominous dark shadow begins to rise from the remains of the dragon. The team, terrified and splashed with dark energy, looks at the rising figure. From the darkness emerges the true enemy, the destroyer of stars, Apophis. Apophis towers over the team. Code 13 is horrified. Without the dragon barrier, they would have died instantly. The team is eager to fight Mushin, not wanting to leave him alone against the giant Apophis. Mushin thinks with hope. How wonderful it would be if everyone united like this in the face of danger. Mushin orders them to stay in the light pillar. Code 13 and the warrior girl beg to be taken with them. Mushin is adamant. Whoever comes out will be expelled. I'm counting on you to pass through without any damage. The system introduces Star Destroyer Apophis, a level 100 alien lord with colossal stats. The team is shocked by the boss's stats. Code 13 exclaims, I'm only level 7. The girl mage notices that Apophis has the grievous wound status. All attributes are weakened by 90% for 30 minutes. Code 13 is happy about the weakening, but the mage girl points out the true damage status, 100% pain perception. Apophis turns to Mushin. Human mage, why do I smell death on you? Apophis scornfully, where are your stupid comrades? Come out and die. Mushin confidently replies, to deal with you, I alone am enough. Apophis, raising his sword, weak, arrogant. Star Destroyer strikes. Mushin shouts, enough chatter, let's fight. Apophis unleashes a powerful blast of energy, shouting, destruction is your fate. Mushin deftly dodges the flying rocks using wind shadow. Mushin unleashes a series of attacks. The damage numbers are impressive. This should hurt him badly. Apophis is furious. Human, why don't you dare fight me face to face? Mushin ponders. Face him head on? I'm not an idiot. Until he enters his next form, I'll kite him. Mushin prepares for a surprise attack from behind cover, his staff glowing. Mushin attacks with ice shards, dealing significant damage to Apophis. Apophis is furious. Despicable, cunning man. Star Destroyer unleashes a powerful area attack while enveloped in red energy. The team watches in horror, worried if Mushin will be able to dodge. System announcement: Mu Shen's team fights. Apophis players are shocked. Other players don't believe it. They're already on level 4? What an international joke. Mu Shen's achievements bring glory to the ancient country, challenging other nations. The Winged Country Research Institute was stunned. It's that Mu Shen again. The general smashes the screen with Mu Shen's image in a rage, shouting at his subordinates. The general orders to find Mu Shen and offer him 500 million to join their institute. The Winged Country's general gloats. Mu Shen will serve us. Other countries are entering the race. Billions in temptations for Mu Shen. Meanwhile, Apophis is on the battlefield preparing a devastating attack. Apophis's powerful blow shakes the ground, scattering debris everywhere. Mu Shen dives into the water, dodging the shockwave that hits the surface. The team watches the raging attack from beneath the dome with alarm. The girl notices. Mu Shen's health bar is full. He's fine. Mu Shen emerges from the water in a spectacular manner, dodging the sword strike. After his ultimate, Apophis is weakened, the perfect moment to counterattack. Mu Shen unleashes a rain of fire on the enemy. The boss's health melts away. Apophis thrusts his sword into the ground, unleashing another wave of destructive energy. Mu Shen was shocked. What? Apophis used magic sword strike twice in a row. He is thrown back by the shockwave. Mu Shen suspects that the system secretly changed the difficulty. Apophis pursues him even underwater, shouting, "Die, stupid man!" Mu Shen desperately swims away, trying to dodge the destroyer's underwater attack. In the game capsule, Mu Shen holds his breath. The no-damage mission is at stake. Mu Shen's face was distorted with tension, but he kept saying, I can't give up." Mu Shen bursts out of the water with a loud noise, gasping for air. He sees Apophis with a sword in his hand. That was close, but now he won't be able to use that attack. Mu Shen immediately counterattacks, releasing fireballs from his staff. Mu Shen rejoices. The equipment's effect has worked, blinding Apophis for 5 seconds. A blinded Apophis waves his sword in rage, shouting, "Humans, how annoying you are." Mu Shen uses 5 seconds of blindness to rain fireballs down on the enemy. Time is up. Mu Shen retreats, deciding to continue the fight from the flank. The team is amazed. Mu Shen is so strong. Will he reach the pinnacle of the apocalypse? The mage girl ponders. The apocalypse is not just a game. What role will I play in the future? Mu Shen unleashes a fiery meteor shower on Apophis, dealing damage. The team from the light pillar enthusiastically encourages Mu Shen. "Come on, you're almost there!" Apophis glared at Mu Shen. "You fools, do you really think you can defeat me?" Star Destroyer engulfs himself in flames. "I will show you my true form, despair ants." Apophis unleashes all-destroying thunderfire, enveloping everything in energy. A powerful explosion shakes space. Dark energy absorbs everything around. The water evaporates. The earth cracks under the onslaught of destructive force. The team is horrified. This is the legendary heavenly thunder and fire. How to dodge it? The protective pillar disappeared. The team panicked. "Where is Mu Shen? He's finished!" The girl notices on the tablet. Mu Shen's health bar is full. Cheats are a bug? Mu Shen's name still shines. He's alive. He definitely dodged. Apophis appears in new, even more sinister armor, surrounded by darkness. Star Destroyer mocks. "Stupid humans dare to challenge the aliens." The team is stunned into silence. Unbelievable. Boss, he disappeared. Apophis, leaning on his sword, mutters, "Damn black dragon, and if it weren't for your wounds." Suddenly a dragon appears, mocking, "Apophis, you worthless thing, is this all you can do?" The team is delighted. The boss is alive, but where is Mu Shen? There he is. Mu Shen is unharmed in front of Apophis, who is shocked. "You survived! Impossible!" The team guesses Mu Shen hid under the boss's feet. The most dangerous place turned out to be safe. Mu Shen and the mysterious ally prepare to attack by activating spiritual energy. They attack together. The skill Hand of Death doubles all damage. Powerful blows rain down on Apophis. Damage numbers fly in all directions. Apophis's health bar is rapidly dropping to 0. The defeated Apophis whispers, "People, you don't understand. We are the true kings." Mu Shen boldly asks Apophis, "Rulers? By what right do you invade our world?" With a look of disdain on his face, Mu Shen continued, "You are nothing more than..." He brings his staff down hard, finishing a joke. The defeated Apophis mutters with his last strength, "We will meet again." A beam of heavenly light pierces Apophis. His body begins to disintegrate. At the sight of the boss's death, Only a handful of ashes remains under the bright light. Mu Shen, illuminated by golden light, declares, "Disperse the smoke, destroy the invaders!" The team rejoices. The boss is so cool, he got through without a single scratch. The dark energy of Apophis finally disappears, crumbling into particles. A mountain of chests. Mu Shen is delighted. 12 purple items. Mu Shen announces an auction for the last 2 ice glass shards. The system congratulates you on your victory and starts counting points for a perfect run. The team gets a D rank, and Mu Shen gets an SSS rank and a generous reward. Global announcement, Mu Shen's team becomes the world's first to defeat Apophis. News of Mu Shen's feat spreads across all servers, taking players by surprise. Players all over the world will learn about the incredible achievement of the ancient country. The world community is shocked. Who is this Mu Shen? He is too strong. On the Azure Dragon server, players are discussing Mu Shen's triumph, and some are biting their elbows. The team disbands, the players rush to rest and collect their rewards. Tingsue Wan bids Mu Shen a mysterious farewell, promising to meet again. Night falls on the capital of the ancient country, hiding secrets. In his residence, Tingsue Wan sighs tiredly after a busy day. The girl stretches as her phone vibrates insistently on the table. Tingsu reads the messages. Everyone is discussing her relationship with Mu Shen and the success of the company. Even in her soul, the ringing doesn't stop. The guilds envy her achievements. Meanwhile, Mu Shen returns to the battlefield of Apophis, feeling the call of the artifact. A sudden voice calls out to him, "Brave warriors!" Mu Shen is wary. Who is there? A dragon spirit appears before him, its true soul about to dissipate. The dragon tells of a 1,000-year battle with evil and of its fallen master. As a gift to the warrior, the spirit leaves the legendary damaged armor of the evil dragon. Mu Shen sees off the dragon spirit, wishing him a safe journey into eternity. Back in reality, Mu Shen reflects on the legacy and future of humanity. He stretches, looking forward to logging into the game tomorrow and opening the treasure chest. The next day, Mu Shen reappears in the game world, ready for new achievements. Opening the chest for the first boss kill, he receives many valuable rewards. He is bombarded with messages. Codename 13 tells of persistent recruiters. Mu Shen inspects the new 9-star staff and his updated stats. Among the rewards, he finds a mysterious fragment of a map leading to treasure. Mu Shen takes out the perfect identification scroll to reveal the secret of his second legendary set. Meanwhile, Tingsue Wan is thinking in the game, not wanting to leave her sisters. Tingsu Wan, barely covering himself with a towel, answers the phone. "Boss, what are your instructions?" Her boss is on the line with an important task, to strengthen the company's influence in the empire. Boss announces, Tingshu must immediately join Mu Shen's guild, Fengshan Valley. She is ordered to get close to Mu Shen and gain his trust by any means necessary. In the game, Tingshui receives a message from Mu Shen, who is surprised by her unexpected decision. Mu Shen realizes, is her appearance a move by the forces behind Wan, a blessing or a curse? In a private chat, Mu Shen sternly warns Tingshui, betrayal is unacceptable in his guild. Tingshu replies, she uses the Tingshu family's connections for the valley and enters of her own free will. The guild welcomes Van. Codename 13 changes his nickname to Dark God in shock. Mu Shen calls a meeting of the guild. The Dark God and Wan Shen appear in front of him. The Dark God greets Wan Shen, praising her and boss Mu Shen. He declares Wan Shen as third sister, embarrassing her even more. Mu Shen interrupts them, reminding them of their contribution to the guild and the choice of the main city. The Apocalypse world map shows cities similar to the real world of the ancient country. Wan Shen offers Dunhuang. Dark God is willing to follow Mu Shen. Mu Shen chooses Winter City in the Kunland Mountains, surprising his companions. Wan Shen warns, Winter City is a dangerous SSS-level location. She explains that the path to such cities is long and risky, and the choice is irreversible. Mu Shen calmly replies that he knows all this. Wan Shen is worried because many people are already stuck on their way to SSS cities, risking their accounts. Mu Shen is confident that other people's failures do not mean that he cannot cope, because the more dangerous the city, the better the rewards. Wan Shen leaves, reminding about Dunhuang, and Mu Shen instructs the Dark God to collect the set and prepare for the Winter City. The Dark God marvels at the boss's composure, but then remembers the rumors. Mu Shen is accused of treason. The system congratulates Mu Shen on completing the quest and SSS rank for the chapter Qingyu Village. The village elder thanks the warrior and gives him the Masquerade Cube, which is needed to change his appearance. Mushen accepts the quest to select a capital city, targeting the SSS location in the Kunland Mountains. He contemplates the coming apocalypse and vows to make Fengshen Valley the pillar of peace. Mushen's face was full of determination when he thought about the recruiters from other worlds. Mushen makes a global statement. He will remain loyal to the ancient country and will not join the outsiders. Modern skyscrapers symbolize the impact of his words on the entire world. Mushen rests, thinking about his parents and the upcoming journey. The father sends money and a message. He and his mother are busy at the research base. Mushen recalls how only after the apocalypse did he understand the greatness of his parents' sacrifice. The computer screen is bustling with gaming life, weapon evaluation, streams, and team promotion. He sees a gaming industry taking shape where the rich are once again in the lead. Meanwhile, Tingsue Wan is studying the detailed analysis of the selection of major cities with a glass of wine. She takes a thoughtful sip, considering the strategic choice. Wan Shen, in a luxurious dress, ponders where to go in the vast world of the apocalypse. The game Apocalypse FIP splash screen appears on the screen, inviting you into the virtual world. Mu Shen in the game receives generous rewards for the quest: gold, experience, and rare skills. Mushen studies the purple skill book, crucial for his new healer mage class. He activates the camouflage cube to change his appearance and avoid detection. The cube envelops him in light, and Mushen decides to become a little more beautiful. A renewed Mushen smiles and offers to get to know each other again. The Dark God runs up to him shouting, "Boss, you're online!" The Dark God shows off his upgraded purple kit, built on the advice of the boss. Seeing Mushen's new face, Dark God was shocked. Are you my boss?" The Dark God admires Mushen's luxurious armor. His own equipment pales in comparison. Mushen answers with restraint that such armor is beyond the reach of the Dark God. The Dark God notices that all of Mushen's equipment has been upgraded to Pollen 9 and exclaims, "Rich man, how much did you spend?" Mushen casually replies that he only spent a few hundred, leaving the Dark God in shock. The Dark God grumbles about the stupid rich, but immediately rushes into battle, anticipating a test of his strength. Mushen doubts whether Dark God should risk the account for SSS City. The Dark God goes on a tirade about the boring, rich life without the game, making Mushen regret asking. Wanshen suddenly appears, and Mushen asks in surprise why she is not in Dunhuang. The Dark God joyfully greets the third sister, offering to evaluate the boss's updated appearance. Wanshen, wearing the ice glaze set, states that she couldn't help but accompany them. The Dark God winks at Mushen, hinting at Wanshen's possible future in their family. Wanshen officially joins the team as a healer, and everyone is ready to move out. The trio of heroes look forward with determination. Their goal is the Winter City. The system confirms Mushen has chosen Winter City, and the team follows him to the Kunland Mountains. The teleportation is complete, and the heroes find themselves in the middle of a snowy plain. They are met by Fengming Road, the edge of the Kunlun Mountains, where the Dark God immediately complains about the terrible cold. The system warns, this place is full of dangers, ancient battles, and secrets hidden by the ice barrier. The heroes receive the main quest to Winter City, and Mushen is amazed by the incredible realism of the game. Mushen discovers a new, currently inactive skill, Death's Hand, and is surprised by its appearance. Rare materials are needed to activate the Death's Hand, and Mushen is frustrated by the difficulty of leveling it up. The Dark God immediately spots enemies nearby. It looks like they were already waiting for them. A huge level 13 snow hunting dog leaps out of the snow and charges. An unknown force destroys the monster with one blow, leaving the Dark God in complete amazement. A stranger appears from the ambush, recognizing Mushen from the first two murders. Level 14. Blade of Slaughter is surprised by Mushen's low level and his new appearance. Realizing that the names are not repeated, he rejoices in his luck. Winter City is close, but Mushen did not promise help. Blade of Slaughter laughs maliciously. This is not a village of newbies, and Mushen does not decide anything. At his call, an entire army of players emerges from the snow, ready for battle. Wanshin notices that players from SSS cities quickly unite and level up, skipping the initial quests. Mushen coldly asks if they are planning to rob them. Blade of Carnage shares information. The path is almost clear. There is one monster spot left, and the Dark God complains about phantom foxes. He offers a deal. They will help with the monsters if Mu Shen obeys, since this is his territory. But then Slaughterblade makes a vile offer. He will help if Wan Shen entertains his people. The Slaughterblade bandits laugh lustfully, anticipating their fun with Wan Shen and admiring her beauty. Mu Shen coughed and asked Wan Shen, "How about a small sacrifice?" And she thought about it and agreed. Mu Shen offers the Blade of Carnage a deal. If he can withstand his normal fireball, they will submit. The people of the Blade of Slaughter are shocked. "Boss! He's just a weak 11th level mage!" Slaughterblade laughs mockingly, not believing that some fireball could harm him, and accepts the challenge. Mu Shen's fireball slams into the Blade of Carnage with incredible force, dealing 5,438 critical damage. The Blade of Carnage instantly evaporates under the blow, leaving only a flying soul and complete bewilderment. His minions are horrified. A level 11 mage destroyed their level 14 boss with one blow. Mu Shen calmly points out that killing players increases sin, but he doesn't seem to care. Blade of Carnage resurrects seething with rage and shouts that Mu Shen is a cheater and he will report him. Blade of Slaughter in horror. The resurrection point is right next to Mu Shen. Mu Shen immediately meets him with another fireball right in the face. The bandits are in a panic. Their leader was killed twice. Is it worth attacking with such a crowd? Mu Shen interrupts their argument by unleashing Ice Flower Dance on the enemy. Ice shards fly off, striking the Blade of Slaughter's minions, causing them to scream in pain. The Blade of Slaughter is resurrected once again, battered and scared right in front of Mu Shen's fire. The remnants of his gang stood frozen in horror, unable to believe what was happening. The souls of the defeated players scream. Mu Shen continues to kill them again and again. Blade of Carnage, having lost levels and equipment, kneels and begs for mercy. "I give up. I was wrong." The other players watch, one recognizing the Blade of Carnage, another advising them to silently enjoy the show. Mu Shen asks with a grin if the one who boasted of an instant victory would give up so easily. Slaughterblade makes excuses. They are victims, stuck here for 3 days, and their girls were taken. Mu Shen understands why there are only men in the squad and asks to tell everything in detail. The Dark God barks at him to kneel straight as Slaughterblade recites the commands that have passed. Mu Shen decides to take them with him for safety, but on the condition that he be made the leader. The former bandits thank Mu Shen, and the squad moves towards Snow Python's territory. One of the Blade of Slaughter's men warns, "Pythons are elusive and dangerous. I wonder how Mu Shen will cope." Mu Shen promises to take them to Winter City if they fulfill his conditions, but the crowd is hesitant. Mu Shen announces 3 rules: complete submission, death or cowardice, expulsion from the squad. Mu Shen points out their guild buff and promises the best purple gear and gold. Mu Shen hints at Wan Shen as a bonus, and she realizes that he is using her again. The crowd is delighted, dreaming of equipment, gold, and girls from Tingshui, but Mu Shen sees them as nothing more than cannon fodder. Mu Shen reorganizes the squad, assassins with the Dark God, magicians with Wan Shen, the rest in the vanguard. The squad advances through a narrow gorge where huge snakeskins hang from ominous trees. Mu Shen sharply commands stop, warning that snow pythons are excellent at camouflage, and people have died here before. He orders the mages to attack the seemingly empty path with fireballs. The mages obey, and a firestorm descends upon the designated area of snow. Level 15 snow pythons with ice armor emerge from the snow with a roar. Mu Shen commands the archers to use explosive arrows to push back and slow down the pythons. The mages continue to expose ambushes, and the archers continue to break the pythons' armor, not giving them time to come to their senses. A barrage of fire rains down on the pythons, explosive arrows bunching them up for maximum damage. The snakes' icy armor cracks under the onslaught of fire, revealing their vulnerable bodies. The melee fighters rush into the enemy lines, admiring Mu Shen's brilliant tactics. The assassins follow orders to finish off the weakened pythons, and Mu Shen commends their ingenuity. The squad celebrates their victory, chanting the name of the new captain. Mu Shen is magnificent. Mu Shen declares the end for today, ordering everyone to show up tomorrow at 10 in the morning without being late. The former bandit timidly asks Mu Shen about his +9 belt, and he suggests that he look for it himself. Suddenly, a girl appears looking for her husband, who was taken away by the Snow Python King. Mu Shen asks about the Python King, realizing that this is a chance for a hidden quest. Mu Shen ponders. In order to activate the quest, he needs to play along without showing too much readiness. Mu Shen pretends to be weak, but the girl begs for help, promising a valuable reward. She holds out the scroll, and Mu Shen nobly declares that it is his duty to exterminate evil. The scroll turns out to be a red rarity card. The girl points to the supposed lair of the Python King. Shulo points to the distant snow-capped peaks, claiming that her husband is there. They find an ominous hole in the snow, littered with bones, and in the center is a glowing sword. The sword turns out to be the legendary Sword of the Sun, stuck into the icy ground. Mu Shen tries to reassure Shueluo by suggesting that her husband might still be alive. Suddenly, Shueluo screamed in horror, "Not good! Behind us!" A huge ice tail crashes down nearby, scattering shards of ice. A giant level 20 snow python king, an elite monster, appears. Shulo shouts, "Beast!" in rage as he prepares to attack the Python King. She rushes at the giant, demanding the return of her husband, her sword flashing. The Python King opens his mouth, from which another snake head emerges, his tongue. Shuelo deflects the snake tongue's attack with his sword, sparks flying. Mu Shen warns Shuelo that the snake tongue is targeting her and prepares a fireball. Mu Shen's fireballs hit the Python King, dealing damage, but not too much. Mu Shen recalls, normal attacks do almost no harm to the king, but a fireball in the mouth will break the armor. The Python King exhales an icy mist. Mu Shen understands. It's freezing for 3 seconds. Shuelo pushes Mu Shen away, taking the ice attack on herself and being covered in ice. Mu Shen thanks Shuelo and shouts that this is their chance as long as she holds on. Mu Shen looks for a weak spot in the Python King's armor, while his snake tongue is already aimed. Mu Shen smirked as he activated Reaper's hand and spiritual energy, doubling his damage. A powerful fireball, enhanced by Mu Shen, flies straight towards the Python King's open mouth. The Python King's armor shatters, revealing his vulnerability. Perfect timing. Mu Shen unleashes fire rain on the weakened serpent, rapidly burning away its health. The freed Shueluo rushes towards the king with a furious cry, her blades ready to strike. Shulo lands on the monster's head and plunges his sword straight into its eye. The Python King lets out a death roar, blood gushing from his pierced eye. The giant body of the Snow Python King falls to the ground with a crash. He is defeated. Mu Shen and Shuelo stand over the monster's corpse. The battle is finally over. Shuelo cries out in despair, "No, I haven't found Liang yet." "It's not over yet!" With these words, she plunges her sword into the defeated serpent. With fury, Shuelo rips open the belly of the giant Python King. Inside the monster, she notices something and whispers hopefully, "I found you." A hand appears from the cut, and then Liang himself. Shuelo looks at him with a frozen gaze. Shuelo kneels down, clutching his sword, and speaks of her eternal connection with him. Mu Shen sadly reflects, "It's a pity, but this is not a fairy tale. The ending is predetermined." Shuelo thanks Mu Shen and asks him to fulfill her last will. She wishes to be buried with Liang, where he loved to look out over the vast expanses. Mu Shen was moved to the depths of his soul, thinking, "Miss Shueluo, to live and die together." Mu Shen stands at the top, bidding farewell to the lovers. Rest in peace. He reflects on love, and the system announces the end of the event and generous rewards. 2 skill scrolls, Liang's breakthrough for a powerful attack and Shueluo's twin blades for buffs. Mu Shen leaves the game, thanking the couple for the scrolls and promising to use them wisely. In his room, Mu Shen notices a call from an unknown number on his phone. He answers. The caller mentions turning down foreign offers and receiving an award from the Empire. Mu Shen realizes that it is easy for the Empire to track him. He is informed about the transfer of 30 million. The caller offers to help and asks if they are Wan Shen's men. Mu Shen confirms. Hearing the name Jiang Wan, Mu Shen was shocked. That was the name of the one who saved him in his previous life. Memory, chaos, cries for help, a wounded man being carried on a stretcher looking for a healer. Memory. Mu Shen in his past life, seriously injured, cries for help from the healer. A gentle hand touches his chest, emitting a green healing glow. Through the veil of pain, he sees her, the one who saved him from death at the last moment. Jiang Wan leans over him, asking how he is feeling. Mu Shen is struck by her beauty.
He thanks her, but Jiang Wan is urgently called away. A new wave of monsters is attacking the city.
Jiang Wan bids him farewell, wishing him good luck, and Mu Shen sees her as an angel. In the present, Mu Shen clutches his head. How could I not realize that it was her? He vows to protect Jiang Wan in this life, remembering her kindness from the past. Mu Shen is back in the game. It's 9:45 a.m. He appears on the snowy plain. He looks around, puzzled. Where is everyone? We agreed to meet. Mushin opens his friends list. Dark God is online, the rest are offline. Messages from the Dark God pop up. Boss, finally, we've all been killed. The Dark God complains. Their team was set up and mentioning Mushen's name didn't help. Mushen frowned, asking who dared and if they came specifically for him. Dark God's response, the Lunatic Guild. Mushen gritted his teeth. They again! Dark God reports, they are surrounded at the resurrection point. Many have lost their equipment. Mushen, wait for me. Mushen is furious. Mad War God, I underestimated your impudence. Wanshen appears next to him. Wanshen asks what happened. Mushen explains about the ambush and suggests fighting their way through. On a snowy road, a member of the Guild of Madmen drags the Dark God, accusing him of betrayal. The leader of the Madmen sits on the defeated player, ordering him to entertain the captive but not kill him. The members of the Guild of Madmen beat up the Dark God, who shouts that the boss will take revenge. The leader of the lunatics mocks, suggesting that the Dark God humiliate Mushen and quit the game. Wanshen is eager to fight, but Mushen stops her, thinking of a plan for revenge. Mushen vows with fury in his eyes, I will make them doubt their lives. He buys a duel order from the store, which prevents enemies from escaping. Mushen becomes the leader of the group and gives clear instructions to his team. Mushen uses Mountains and Rivers map, gaining a new powerful skill, Heavenly Ignition. Mushen and Wanshen arrive, the Mad War God mocks, and you still came. The 14th level Mad War God boasts of his strength to the 11th level Mushen. Mushen smirked, recognizing his old opponent. So it's him. Mushen recognizes the Mad War Emperor, a famous warrior from his past life, now the vice president of the guild. The Mad War God mocks Mushen, threatening to persecute him even in the newcomer village. Mushen issues a challenge, raising the duel order banner in front of his stunned opponent. One of Mushen's allies quietly turns invisible, preparing for a sneak attack. The Mad War God is surprised by Mushen's initiative. Intelligence reports that there are no other teams. The leader of the Madmen gloats, promising to take all of Mushen's equipment within a 2-hour duel. The Mad God of War orders the Emperor to prepare, but he brazenly snaps at his president. The War Emperor addresses Mushen, acknowledging his strength but stating that he is acting under orders. The War Emperor offers Mushen a deal. He will not interfere, but he has one request. The Mad War Emperor demands a duel to the death from Mushen after the main battle. Wanshen explains, the loser of the life and death order loses everything, including experience and gold. Mushen accepts the War Emperor's challenge, ready for a life or death battle. The Mad War Emperor laughs as he accepts the duel and promises Mushen an unforgettable defeat. Two armies stand against each other. The Mad Guild against Fengshan Valley, Mushen against the Mad God of War. With cries of kill! Both sides rush to the attack, fiery shells raining down from the sky. He was the GOAT during the apocalypse, humanity's last shot, but even he got clapped by the Grim Reaper. Next thing he knows, boom, dude wakes up in the past, before everything went to hell. Now Sumu's got a second shot. He logs into the same game that's gonna turn real soon, but plot twist. No fresh start, no OP build, just his old broke mage account, 0 loot, and one creepy bonus, the Reaper's damn bony hand. But this time, he ain't playing around. He knows what's coming, and he's gonna grind his way to the top before the whole world goes down again.